Yo, what's good, everybody? Good to the Beers with Barton. It is Sunday Fun Day, as some would call it, September 11th, 2022. It's crazy that we are almost 75% through 2022, but here we are. So today was the first full Sunday for NFL football, which is always exciting until your team sucks and loses to the Bears in horrible weather. But it is what it is. Watching the Cowboys lose right now, which is pretty cool. But besides football, today is the 21st anniversary of 9/11. Obviously, a horrible day in the U.S. history and the world's history of what happened, the attacks on the World Trade Centers, the Pentagon, and then a fourth plane that ended up crashing out in a field. Still not 100% sure where that was headed, but just want to do a quick one tonight and just say, crazy to think what happened 21 years ago. All the people that lost their lives on the plane, the World Trade Center. Hate to say this, but I'm not sure if there are any losses at the Pentagon. I think there were, but I'm not sure the number there. Obviously, it's like 2,300 or 2,600 at the World Trade Center, and then you add obviously the loss of life on the planes themselves. So not a great day in history for the United States, but also not a great day in history for just the world. And so just want to do a quick one and say what a special day in remembrance tonight for what happened 21 years ago. And I think I've heard it said quite a few times, it's not just what happened on 9/11. We have to remember the day after, which is when we all came together, which honestly I think we've kind of lost that over the last couple of years, but that's for another day and another story. Just crazy to think it was 21 years ago. I'm 40 right now, so I was 19, about to turn 20 later that year, like a month or so later. Actually, was still living at home with my parents. I'd just been dating Jess for, we started dating in February of 2021, so 6-8 months. We started dating in February of 2021. I think she went to visit her cousins who were from New York the summer of 2021. She has some pictures of her on the Empire State Building. You can see the Twin Towers in the background. It's kind of crazy. What happened with that. And I remember that day pretty well. I was still living at my parents' house. Like I said, I was 19 years old. I was actually working for Bank of America, which is funny because I work for Wells Fargo now. But I was a teller, and I actually had just started a few months before, and I lived on the East Bay, which is on the east side of the bay, from over the bridge from San Francisco. And I remember my mom came in. She woke me up because the first plane hit at like 5:45 West Coast time, and I had to drive over a bridge, the San Rafael Bridge, a smaller bridge, to go to work. So I worked about 45 minutes from home, and so my mom kind of wakes me up. Don't know what's going on. I don't go to work till 9 o'clock, I think, so I probably didn't wake up till 7 maybe. And she wakes me up. We don't know what's going on. Jessica remembers that she was getting ready for school, for high school, and saw the second plane hit, because it was about 20 minutes after the first one, and no one really knew what was going on, and I called my boss or texted. I didn't have cell phones back then, probably, maybe I paged him, but I think I called him and said, hey, what's going on? Should I come into work? Like, unknown. He said, hey, come into work. We don't know what's going on. So I ended up driving into work. So we didn't know. I mean, were they hitting, was it an attack? Was it an accident? As the day went on, we learned more and more, but, were they going to hit a bunch of major infrastructure all over the world? It was on the East Coast, but were they going to hit the West Coast next? We weren't sure. I mean, the bridge that I went over was a lot smaller than the Golden Gate Bridge or the Bay Bridge, but still I had to go over a bridge. Anyways, ended up going in. was kind of eerie. We ended up buying a TV at like a Walmart or something, or Kmart, I think it was, and just set it up in the back of the branch, and we pretty much watched TV for the whole day. It was almost no one came in. The only people that really came in, it was an older population, and they were taking cash out. Probably got a little nervous, got a little scared, and they just wanted cash. It got so bad at one point, the amount is we ran out of cash, and we just couldn't give out money anymore. It's kind of weird. So just kind of an eerie, weird day. 21 years ago, being a young kid, still kind of crazy to think about. So, the 9/11 is a big deal. It's kind of like the JFK for our parents. I mean, my mom still remembers where she was at when JFK was assassinated. I think she was in, she's probably a little younger than I was when 9/11 hit. She was born in 49, so she was 14, I think. But she remembers where she was at. We remember where we were at for 9/11. So crazy day, sad day. Obviously, a lot's happened since then. It kind of came out what the deal was for the attack. And it's just sad to think about. 21 years ago and all the people that lost their lives. So football did suck today, but it's so small compared to what happened in the big scheme of things in life. So this one's for everyone. Yesterday, Michaela had a dance clinic, and we hung out with some of the dance families and ended up going to a brewery. Cabarrus Brewery, went and hung out and had food, and then High Branch was right next door. It's one of my favorite breweries. It's a Hazy delight, so I thought it was appropriate. So we should be happy today to just remember what happened. Not happy because of what happened, but happy to know we came together as a country. We came together as a nation, and although it wasn't a wonderful day, but 21 years later, which is still crazy to think about. Michaela actually had a little project for school. She had to interview somebody from 9/11. She obviously wasn't alive, and so she got to interview Grandpa, Jess's dad, and Mom. Today they came over and watched the Niners lose, which is great. It was kind of cool to hear his perspective. We've all talked about it, but just, he worked for the IRS, and so he worked in San Francisco in the city. And so, when it happened, he was, on the BART train, and no one really knew. He had people traveling in. I think it was a Monday from like Alaska. I think he said in Hawaii, and, planes were grounded for, I think, 10 days after that. So it was just crazy. It's very chaotic. So for him, obviously a lot more, a lot bigger, I wouldn't say a bigger deal, but just, more going on for him. He was in his 40s, in the middle of his career at the time. So anyways, crazy. We'll never forget. And that's the biggest loss, biggest attack on U.S. Soil by a foreign country ever. Still to this day, the world wars that were fought were over in Europe. The Civil War obviously was, us here, the nation here in the U.S., but attacked by a foreign country, it's still the biggest. Hopefully there's not a bigger one ever, because I think over 3,000 people lost their life that day. So just remember it, hug your family, and tell everyone you love them. So cheers in remembrance, 9/11, so Hazy delight. Let's be thankful for today, thankful we're alive, and thank you for this wonderful nation. Cheers. Man, it's a good beer. Thankful for the good beer, I guess. All right, that's about it. It's supposed to be a quick one, and we're 9 minutes in. I don't even know what I talked about. But anyways, 9/11 in remembrance, 21 years, just still crazy to think about. It's been that long. I remember, like I said, Jessica visited her cousins in New York in the summer of 2001. We'd only been dating for 6 months or so, and I remember we dropped her off at the airport. I went with her mom. We walked right up to the gate. It was just simple, and I watched the plane go away, and I probably cried because I was a little girl, crying about my girlfriend going away, at 19, like a baby. But very different now in the airport. Security, you can't go up to the gate if you're not on a flight, and it's just, everything's changed, good, bad, or indifferent. So it's a day that will not only will go down in infamy, like the Pearl Harbor bombing. A little bit different, but just crazy event to even think it happened, and how the world has changed since then from a security standpoint. And man, it's still so sad to think that we had to go through that. So 9/11 in remembrance for everyone that lost their lives. I love this amazing country that we have, how we came together on 9/12, and yeah. Cheers, in remembrance. All right, that's it. Got to wrap it up here. We're almost at 11 minutes. Should have done 9 minutes and 11 seconds, but I didn't. 9/11 in remembrance. Love this country. USA forever. Until next time. Adeuces.